Go, boy!
Anyways, what is up, folks? We're back talking about the Forever Purge, the last, I believe, Purge movie that's supposed to be dropping out of the series.
Yeah, this is the final movie in the Purge franchise.
Yeah. Oh, so quick question. Me and D saw the first Purge. I'm assuming you've seen the previous Purge movies, right?
I have. I watched all of them. I
Okay,
watched all of them after watching this one.
Oh, okay, cool. One of the things I think I said in that review for the first Purge is that I've been digging the fact that like the Purge films kind of learned a lesson after the original first film, where it's like people don't want to see, the shit that happens in the house. We want to see what happens in the greater world of the Purge. Like we actually want to see how everybody is reacting in the cities of the Purge and stuff. And every Purge movie since then, Anarchy, Election Day, First Purge, and now Forever Purge, has addressed that in spades and stuff. And the Forever Purge pretty much addresses it in the way of what happens when, hate to say it, white folks lose their fucking mind on the fact that the Purge is done officially after the Election Day. And they're like, oh, no, this is going to continue forever, as the title of the movie is implied. And yeah, it's as ridiculous as you think it is.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. God, where do I begin with this movie? I mean, without spoiling anything, I'm just gonna call it how it is, and like what you, myself, and a couple of our friends in the podcast community, shout out to Big Gold Belt and JVS. This was another day in Texas.
You know what? I haven't lived in Texas long enough, but from my understanding, you're right to a degree.
But think about this. Did you
on the gun aspect, you're right.
That's what I'm talking about. Like on the gun aspect. See, the gun aspect, that law couldn't have come at a better time because, right before this movie was supposed to come out. Also keep this in mind. Now, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't this movie supposed to come out last year? It got delayed because of the pandemic.
Yeah, it got delayed because of the pandemic, and they were supposed to they were going to do VOD, and then they decided just to, put it out in theaters.
Yeah. Right. So, movie was supposed to come out last year. Think about this. The fact that this movie came out, the fact that the movie's coming out now, after we already had the January 6th situation and the new gun law from Texas just dropped, the fact that this movie is dropping it right after that is just nothing but timing. Which has been the kind of, I guess, sort of the issue with a lot of these movies this year. It's just the timing. Movies that were supposed to come out a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. The fact that they're all coming out in 2021 and they're all revolving around what we've been dealing with in the last 6 months.
Yeah, so the basic premise is we follow this Hispanic couple, Adelia and Juan. They're coming from Mexico because they're trying to escape the drug cartel, and they end up working. Juan ends up working on this ranch, and Adela, I think she's working at like a meat factory, basically.
Yeah.
And the typical stuff in the movie happens and stuff. Juan is working for this white family, and the son is diet racist because he doesn't, hate Mexicans, but he's just like, hey, you people need to go back to Mexico, that kind of shit. Where it's like, all right.
It was just more of, dude was kind of mad because, said hired hand is outshining him in his own game. And
his dad loves him.
Yeah. And that whole cliche that we've seen many times before.
And the purge happens and stuff. And as I mentioned before, this takes place after purge election year. So once the purge is over, this was pretty much supposed to be it, because the purge was pretty much abolished as like it's done. So this is it, and we're done. Well, what ends up happening is there's a group of people that call them, they basically want to keep the purge going on forever, which echoes to what you were saying, Sue, about the whole thing of the January 6th thing, because these motherfuckers decided, it's not just Texas this is happening, it's around the country.
It's all over America. It's imagine if January 6th was all over the country instead of just at the Capitol.
And much like January 6th, the group that is organizing this Forever Purge, it wasn't exactly well thought out.
No, it wasn't.
And on paper, it sounds nice because we want the purge to keep going, but I'm like, this isn't going to go how you think it's going to go, guys. And it does because Juan and Adele, they came in and was like, oh, these white folks are crazy. Let's just go ahead and just start killing some people. And that's what it starts. It ends up turning into El Mariachi.
especially with especially with this one part. There's one part in the movie where Adele, she was trying to free this goat, and this goat was inside of like the most elaborate looking cage ever.
I saw the trap coming a mile away. I was like, hey, lady, let the goat go. All right, unless you're going to eat the goat, unless you're going to eat it.
And we haven't quite reached the apocalypse yet. You know, food rations ain't ran out just yet, son.
That part is actually in the trailer. As soon as she put her hands in there, I was like, lady, why would you do that? Just let it go.
Bro, with that scene alone, I'm like, you see there's a trap. One goat in a trap by itself. Situational awareness is out the window with you right now.
Now, to her husband, on the other hand, he is like on the money, like immediately when shit hits the fan. And I think what I like about it is that like it's very much on the nose, on the schism, obviously, and stuff with the Forever Purge group and stuff. But I think you just, much like the other Purge movies, you just go along for the fucking ride and just enjoy all the killings and the action sequences and stuff, because everything that you think could happen in this scenario, it happens and stuff. Like the U.S. is like, hey, we're gonna bring the army in there to quelch it. I'm like, that's not gonna work, dog. That's really not gonna work. And it doesn't.
Like, you try bringing in the cops, you try bringing in SWAT teams, then you try bringing in the army. Stop it. And
the crux of it is basically, it's like the reverse of how people cross the border to come to the U.S. Now they're trying to cross the border to go into Mexico, because apparently U.S. is the only country that's like, we're really wilding with the purge. Canada, Mexico, and everybody else is just like, man, U.S. is fucking crazy. We ain't doing this shit.
Again, a reflection of January 6th. Here's the wild part.
That's the theme of this podcast, is January 6th. It's just,
here's the wild part. Canada and Mexico are giving a 6-hour window for people to try
over the border.
Like, go ahead and please come over here for sanctuary. If you require sanctuary from the purge in your own home state, please come over to Mexico and Canada. Bear in mind, there is a 6-hour window, and if you can't make it within that 6 hours, man,
tough shit.
Like, to the streets from whence you have came.
And I think that's what makes it work, is that there is a timetable and stuff on them getting across the border and stuff. And you see the dynamic between what's Josh Lucas's character? Dylan. That's his character, and his wife is pregnant, and her sister is part of that group. And you just see they kind of pull the trope of the white guy that finds the error of his racism a little bit ways and stuff a little bit, because at one point they're talking about, like, Juan is asking him, dude, what do you not like about Hispanics? He's like, well, it's just you people, you got to speak the English language. And I was like, oh, just okay.
First of all, he already no, look, his response was already null and void when he started with "you people." I'm like, I don't even care what you got to say at that point.
And my thing is this: I don't mind cartoony racism at this point, because I think that's what the movie franchise is. I mean, hell, you saw the first Purge where they tried to do the whole thing with, like, if we give these minorities money to kill each other, they're going to kill each other, and then they didn't.
Right?
It's exactly what I would do. It's like, nigga, we're going to have a fucking house party. We ain't doing this shit. Like, nah.
I'm chilling.
But take this money, we're going to have a fucking block party, we're going to smoke weed, and we're going to go nuts. And it's like, government really looked at it with the fucking weebay face, like, you're not killing each other? What?
No.
It's like, we'll take your free money and just party hard with it.
Kidding me? Again, CJ, January 6th.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the majority race that was
white people
was there?
I'm sorry. Look, again, credit to the creatives. The second movie, they pivoted to, these white folks are crazy, and us minorities have nothing to do with this shit whatsoever.
I was kind of hoping I'd see the return of your boy from the first one. The black guy, because he showed up in the second.
Yeah, he did show up in the second movie and stuff. That's well, we got the Native American guy. He's like the surrogate for it and stuff.
No,
As
we
like,
also no wait. I'm sorry. We also got that black guy that showed up and saved Adele early in the like earlier in the movie.
yeah. He's in it and stuff. Like which thankfully he's in it. It's unfortunately it's kind of like one of those he's in it and then he just
He's gone.
disappears.
He's gone for the rest of the movie.
He ain't dead, folks. I mean, that's
Yeah,
the only
he doesn't
we'll
die.
give you.
We just don't know. We just don't know where about his whereabouts, and we're never gonna know because this is the final movie.
This is the final movie and stuff. And like I said, I think this movie, the TV show, and the movies after the very first movie, I like this world that they've done, and I think they bookended it on a note that makes sense for the franchise. I think if they do, like I said, they're not doing any more. This was a nice way to just kind of end it.
I mean, from everything I've watched in all the previous Purge movies, I was expecting a little bit more, but this really, honest to God, felt like more of the same. It just hits a whole lot different because we had January 6th. That's all.
Dude, because it's like I gotta imagine. I think our position would be so different if it came out last year. Because I would have just dismissed it off like, oh, it's just another wacky Purge movie, whatever. But like that shit just hits, boom. And like you said, even the Texas gun law stuff, it hits hard. Like the son at one point opens up his fucking cabinet and he got fucking shotguns, hollow point bullets, and I'm like, this man is fucking armed to the T.
You know, to quote, Jesus, how am I going to say this? To quote a very memorable character from a horrible movie, let's just say his name is Carl. He said it best. This is Texas.
I mean,
you know what movie I'm talking about.
I mean, hey, look, all I'm saying is this: he's right because I feel Texas. Look, Texas is literally the background character of this movie because it's like anything goes. It literally is like the Wild Wild West. Like it's just, it's on par with the Purge series, and I'd be hard pressed to really think that this movie is horrible. It's a fun movie to watch. It's ridiculous. And you're just enjoying all the insane kills and the ridiculousness stuff that's happening, and just even the cartoony racism. It's like, you know what? I'm fine with this. Fine,
cool. You know what this movie made me think of one thing. Mm-hmm. This felt like an hour plus long shootout scene in El Paso from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, because the movie's like 90 minutes.
Yeah, you remember that part where Hank tried to get in with what was it with that new with the new police crew? I think he didn't know he was still with the DEA, but he went in with that task force to go into El Paso, and then he really tried to do the same shit that he thought he was going to do in Albuquerque, and when shit got real, my man was hiding. He wanted no parts of that.
Between that and Danny Trejo's head on a turtle, that's pretty much what this. That's pretty much the vibes that this movie was giving off.
Yeah, that's the exact vibes. It's like, hey, you know what? Let's give that scene a bigger budget and a much longer runtime, and we get the Purge.
I mean, because the funny thing is, these movies, they don't have a high budget. They're like within the $20 million range, $30 million range, which that's all you really need. Because I mean, these movies are it has a very blaxploitation grindhouse feel to them, which works. So you don't really need to put like $100 million into the Purge. It's like, no, 30 million is fine. 20 million is cool.
Could you imagine the $100 million Purge movie?
What would it be going towards? Because
it would go straight to the CGI.
On what though? The blood? Like that's the only
the blood, the gore factor. Like everybody's gonna be running around with hand cannons and shit. Like everybody's AR is gonna be shooting freaking hollow points. So basically
in the movie franchise,
you're gonna be looking at what you're gonna be looking at, Chris. You're gonna be looking at the final scene from Rambo 4, but for an hour plus long movie.
In the movie franchise where people will just miraculously have like the latest in guns for no fucking reason, I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine. Hey, everybody is holding and got guns. All right, cool. Again, like you said, Texas.
Again, Chris, it's Texas. I'm imagining they have like an entire surplus of like various new types of guns.
Bruh, Dylan has a fucking semi truck that's bulletproof. I'm like, bruh,
Texas.
Are you rich?
You saw no. Think about the second movie. Old boy in the second movie had that bulletproof car. Sort of bulletproof.
First off, that was genius of him.
That
to
was
actually
very
add that.
genius.
Because if I'm gonna go out to purge to get some shit, I'm gonna have a bulletproof car. So I ain't gonna be driving no goddamn Prius.
The only problem with that is you think that by keeping it bulletproof, that dudes ain't gonna run around and pull the John Wick armor-piercing bullets.
Nah,
that's all they need.
I mean, but it's just it's like I said, this movie speaks to what the franchise has been with its like messaging that it does and stuff. And as much as it's on the nose, like we keep saying, January 6th, it's like it's in your face, and it's like, yo, white people are fucking crazy. It's just because, like I said, you really think black people will be 100% for the purge? Fuck no, because even the Hispanic people in this movie are just like, yo, these white people are nuts. Like, you really gonna kill each other on the purge? Like, all right,
like is it really that serious?
It's like, because even the Native American guy that's like the face of like this movie and stuff, he was like, yeah, this purge ain't working, man. Like, you really think this is gonna help your anger? It's like, nah, bro. Like, you've always been angry. Like, come on.
It's like, this is who you are.
This is who you are, man. Like, come on.
It's like you don't need one special night to let it out and you can finally release what you've been hiding all this time. No, dude, this is who you are from the jump.
Yeah. And I think
that you want this to go on forever speaks volumes. And
I think that's what I like about this movie is that it really hammers home the message that like every movie prior to it showed that like, yo, this purge was not really a good idea. Like on paper, it might sound nice, but nah, it's not really that good. Like, no, get it out here.
It's like this was never a good idea.
Hell, I even think about if the purge happened in real life today, I'd be like, yeah, my ass is staying in the house and barricading myself. Ain't no fucking way. I'm nah.
Dude, I'm leaving the country.
It's like, Eric, you want to go to England? All right, cool. Just go to England for 24 hours. And actually, I would leave a week ahead of time so I don't have to worry about that shit. But that's just me. But yeah, you know what? I would say, folks, definitely check out the Forever Purge. It's an entertaining movie that you'll definitely enjoy.
Again, it's entertaining. It like, does it do anything groundbreaking? No.
It doesn't need to be.
It's some will argue this movie wasn't that great. Some felt like some felt pretty disappointed by this movie. I'm very middle of the road with it. Like I enjoy the craziness. And
I'm just glad it didn't go out on a whimper. That was my only thing. Is like, this is the final movie. As long as it don't go out on a whimper, I'm fine with it. So
I mean, yeah, it could have went that way, which I'm glad it didn't. But again, I was very middle of the road. Like I accepted it for what it was.
Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely check it out, folks. Especially if you're a fan of the Purge franchise, you'll definitely enjoy this film and stuff. It has the thrills and everything that you expect. So, that in mind, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Later.
That boy is Benny.